What is going on, Governor? It's Chisgule here, and today we're battling against Dragothien and Legend Rhony in Ark of Osiris. If you like Ark of Osiris videos, you should definitely like and subscribe. It's a game mode we're pretty into, although, man, we've really had a bad run of it recently. And we are a sponsored creator with Rise of Kingdoms. What you're watching now is an unplanned matchup. We did not arrange this against our two alliances. And you'll see there's me in the background behind me, probably moving around, saying stuff, doing stuff. I had intended to maybe show it with the original voice and my original, expressions as it was all happening, but I'm like quiet for large amounts of the match because I'm listening to my alliance members and giving occasional thoughts, and it's just not all that interesting. So I'm going to talk over it, and I also think it's kind of interesting to do a breakdown of the strategy and things that happen, things that went well, the things that don't go well. And, I'll call your attention now to the fact that we really struggle for some reason with the Ark of Osiris. We really struggle to hold the Ark of Osiris, even though we committed more than 12 players to the single task of grabbing the Ark of Osiris. And maybe that's not fair to say it's a single task. Some of them are supposed to be captains of the places, but anyways. Okay, here we go. So, we kick this thing off. Our speedy army is Cao Cao with Khan, fastest possible combination in the game for getting an obelisk, and so we hustle it over there. We're going at 2x speed. By the way, we've got Richard and Charles infantry build on our way over to the Shrine of Life, which we will captain. And we've got Yi Sung Ye with El Cid on their way over to the altar. Now, we're doing only 3 armies out onto the field because our intention is to teleport forward as one of the first people that's going to go and do that. We're going to hit a little snag with that, though, which you're going to see pretty darn soon. We're, of course, using T1 cavalry to make our way over to the obelisk. Possible we should have grabbed the outpost on the way, but we're not fooling around because we know that Rhony's alliance likes to rally obelisks, even though I don't think that makes a lot of sense. And in this game, they actually haven't done that. So go figure. We actually launched a rally onto one of their obelisks, but that was purely a distraction tactic intended to convey a lot of troops down the battlefield. That's happening on the top side of the map. We are bottom side. Now we've made our way into the obelisk, and as you know, you can teleport forward when all of your troops are actually in structures. This is why we've only got 3 fast-moving armies out and about on the field, making our way forward. Now, the thing that's kind of interesting here is that the opposing side brings a large number of T4 cavalry over to the desert altar, which is a tactic that I haven't actually seen before, and is kind of an interesting idea. Each of those armies has a 50% expansion, so it's like 300,000 troops a pop, and we've got archers, and this is a problem because cavalry counters archers, even though we've got T5. The thing we should have done is a switcheroo, bringing our infantry over to the desert altar and Yi Sung Ye archers down to the Shrine of Life instead. So this causes us some problems. You can see my alliance member Boo here tries to avoid the combat. The problem is that if we avoid the combat entirely, we forfeit the desert altar to Rhony, which is not a thing we really want to do. And at this moment, what we actually really kind of needed Gen X to do, and it's easy to see in hindsight, is to sneak underneath to get into that structure. Of course, then Rhony would have just swarmed it, so I don't know how well that actually would have worked. We make our way over to the Shrine of Life, we grab that, but now Rhony has snuck his way into the altar, which is a little bit of an issue. Meanwhile, we go to teleport and we see that, man, we can't teleport because our army was beaten, which is a big problem. This is a big problem because we want to teleport up there and do work. But good news, we've got Javanismo on his way over with a lot of T5 armies. It's all going to be fine by the altar at the start of this fight. And we're actually putting pressure onto their altar. Remarkably, they haven't even claimed their Shrine of War yet. And we're pretty far along. There you go, they've claimed it. Ultimately, not going to be a difference maker in this matchup either way. We can see now the swarm in on that desert altar doing some work. Going to clean that up before they claim the points for being the first one to capture, which is good. Now we've just got to hold it for 3 minutes to convert it over. And rallies are on their way in. Rally on the obelisk from Dragothien and from Thea. Interesting to see Thea on this side of the battlefield because previously they were in our alliance. Being on the losing end of KVK is pretty savage for a kingdom. A lot of players leave, and it's actually kind of a bummer because a lot of my favorite people have left the kingdom. A lot of my favorite people are still here, and I'm enjoying the people I'm with, but there were so many people anyways. All right, well, we teleport forward, and now it's time to do some work. We swap Belial as the captain with expertise Isong Ye and El Cid, making our way over to the open field by the desert altar to Tango. We're bringing in our cavalry. We're bringing in Barca, and I believe we're using Freddy as the secondary with Barca, and we've got our archers cleaning up these armies that are still here. You know, in hindsight, and it's been over 2 months since we've played Ark of Osiris, which is kind of incredible. We had to miss the last one because we were in DFH defending their fort during KVK overnight, and then we had to miss the previous two because of the whole content creator shenanigans. So anyways, it's been a solid 2 months since we've played Ark of Osiris, and playing again reminds me that an army like Hannibal Barca is just not amazing. It's just too slow. Even though it's huge and you can put a lot of T5s in there, we've got almost 400,000 T5s in that march. They're just so gosh darn slow that I don't know, man. I'd rather just leave Barca in my city with whomever I'm going to pair Barca with for rallies and then send them out later to do rallies against stuff. Anyways, we've got some open field combat to do here, and we're headed over to the Ark of Osiris, and I'm a little bit baffled at this point because, again, we've got 12 players committed to Green Team who should be headed up the center, and yeah, I don't know where they are. And this highlights a really interesting problem with Ark of Osiris, which is that if you don't have troops, it's hard to play the game mode. We have had so many troops die in KVK. Thankfully, because we're a big spender, we were able to train back most of those troops and more. But a lot of my alliance members who are not big spenders are not in that position, and we just don't have the marches to be holding down the center and to do all of the other things that we want to be doing, including sneaking the altar belonging to Kingdom 16. That said, they've taken one of our altars, which is a little bit surprising on the top side. So we're still even on structures, and they're moving the Ark. Now, we are building a little bit of a critical mass around the Ark, starting to get that going. We hear that this structure is getting rallied, so we send whatever troops we have remaining. It's a mixed army, but who cares? We swap out the secondary commander to be someone other than Cao Cao. It doesn't really matter who it is. We get him in there. I suppose in a perfect world, we would use a slightly different commander who elevates troop capacity, but we send our calves back onto the field. Our Barca army has been smashed. I don't even know what they did. I don't even know if they got much done. And we're now outnumbered by the Ark of Osiris, and this is a big problem. We really want to get this Ark of Osiris. I mean, the game mode is called Ark of Osiris for a reason. That's the thing you really need to be scoring. And we are behind on capping this first one. We're letting them pick it up because we know that they're going to be relatively easy to kill here. But the problem is that they're swarming, and we can't seem to get the darn marches together to do stuff in the open field. You know, in my perfect world, this game mode would operate such that all of your troops that you have ever had are available for you to use, dead or alive. And I think that's honestly kind of fair because, like, you paid or played your way to have those troops anyways, you know? And it makes this game mode, like, less about who has not waged war to preserve their troops, right? And, like, more focus on, like, pure tactics. Remarkably, a rally has taken our own altar. Again, we've got a troop problem. We just can't be in enough places with enough troops. And frankly, there's a lot of merit as well to the strategy of rocking a lot of offensive rallies. Here we take down the carrier, naturally, and we hang out with our T5s to battle. Not a lot of place to go with that many armies all over us. And, you know, cavalry are just remarkably squishy. Have you noticed that cavalry do not last long in the open field? Like, they do not do a great job of taking damage. We've actually recently swapped over to a cavalry build that has more damage reduction. We'll probably put that in our Discord so that folks can get a look at it. Yeah, so far, this is not going particularly well for us. They've scored the first arc, and we're having a little trouble holding structures defensively. Thankfully, we've captured a structure on offense, and maybe we should have been launching more offensive rallies, but I don't know if we have the troops for it. We commit a full march of cavalry, I believe, into a rally to go take back our own altar. And now we're doing some, I suppose, gratuitous fighting by the Temple of Osiris just to clear out these folks, because in part, Hannibal Barca is so gosh darn slow, it's not like we can get away anyways. I'm kind of inclined to believe that people target me a little more because I'm a content creator. Hard to say. Either way, I'm kind of out of position here, just kind of enjoying getting some AoE value. In this case, I feel like Barca with Sun Tzu would be a really good pairing if the thing you want to do is to put Barca into this part of the open field. And again, here we're out of position. We've got no way to get out of this situation. Doesn't matter that we have T5. Maybe we're inflicting decent wounds on them, but our army is melted. Our army is melted. We do a little bit of healing there, grabbing a few more troops. I wish we had done a little bit more over the course of this matchup, because we end up really needing them, and you're going to see later on an absolutely freaking critical mistake is made by me because I don't have enough troops, and like I could have spent more healing speed ups. Here we're still, we've got this army committed in the open field. They're already committed to that position, so we've got them battling, getting a little bit of value around the center, since we notice that even though our responsibility is supposed to be yellow side, that green squad needs help, so we're in the center, sending a lot of marches there when we have a moment that is free. The problem here is that it's very hard to pay attention to a lot of places on the battlefield all at once. In my perfect world, I'd be able to just focus on yellow squad and yellow side, doing work on that part of the map. But instead, we are now in the center, in the open field. And the other thing that's kind of remarkable about Yi Seong-Gye and El Cid, basically any army without healing, is that even though we're bringing 300,000 plus troops, man, they just, they go down really fast. Even with T5, it's kind of remarkable to me. Here we see, again, a structure's getting rallied, so we send more troops to reinforce it, including some ballista. I figure it's better than nothing. And we go back to watching the open field combat. And it's very hard to say if we got, like, positive trades with some of those armies. It's very hard to say. Like, we're getting swarmed, that's a thing. Worth mentioning that in this matchup, I think we're down by 60 million power or rating, which is about 10% of total. So we've got another army coming into the middle here, and we're going to turn around, presumably, and hit this army. Bada boom. We're doing a little bit of work here, finally. And we're just outnumbered. We're really outnumbered, basically everywhere we want to be, which is kind of remarkable. Again, I really feel like Ark of Osiris, if they designed it so that you had every troop you ever trained, would be really interesting. We've got a rally in on the Shrine of Life. We are captaining it. Belial Demon goes to help to swarm it. She's going to give it the good old try, but I don't know that it's quite going to be enough. And we send another march into the open field. Again, we have too many places to be looking at once. It was a thing I really wanted to avoid, was this situation where we're looking in a lot of places all at once. At this point, we probably need to launch more rallies. We've got Death Squad on the top side, launching rallies over there, controlling the flow of the battle on that side of the map. And I'm pretty sure Javanismo here is gonna go to swarm this darn thing. We send more infantry and, Yeah, we're like out of all infantry, so we send some non-infantry over to deal with that particular flag. And gosh, like we just need more troops of the right type. I think I'm going to train just a boatload of T4s specifically for Ark of Osiris, um, so that I don't have this problem of needing a certain type of troop and not having it. The other thing I could do is more healing, but at this point in the battle, they own both of the Shrines of Life, so that's not a particularly value play. They've grabbed, again, another Ark of Osiris. We cannot get critical mass to the center, even though I'm calling for it. We just don't have the marches. We just don't have the troops for that. Meanwhile, rallies headed over from me. I led a rally. Oh, I canceled the rally. All right. Javanismo swarmed it. I had a rally going in to take it with infantry and some other stuff going on. That's cool. Javanismo did some work. I think he ends up getting second overall for score. I think Death Squad ends up being number 1, and I'm going to round things out in 3rd place for Legion. So we're in the open field trying to contribute here. We see that that structure is going to get rallied. I don't know that it has a great captain. Possible we should have run our way over there because I just don't feel like we're making a lot of progress in the open field because we're seemingly constantly outnumbered there, which is a big problem. We're taking a look at their sky altar, and maybe we'll rally it, maybe we'll hit it, maybe we'll just scout it. Javanismo looks like he's got a rally headed over there. Here we make a mistake. We send real captains into that rally. That was a huge mistake because I would have loved to have used those captains later on to rally something. So that was one major mistake we made. Major mistake. Here they've got a rally going, but we've got an Isongye El Cid defending it, so we feel pretty good about that. And Gen X is leading a rally with my cavalry in it to try to take the Shrine of War. It would have been successful if we weren't being swarmed. Instead, we use those cavalry talents to get a speedy retreat back to, well, wherever the heck we feel like going. Wherever the heck we feel like going. We give that another scout. We see Gen X has got the captain for that structure. We are captaining over here now. And we just can't get critical mass by the Ark of Osiris, even though we need it. We've got another rally coming in. We, at this point, can't send full marches because we're already below the threshold for having full marches. Like I said, definitely should have used more healing speed-ups, although I honestly don't think it would have made a difference in this Ark of Osiris. Not particularly. This rally was pretty tough. Legend Rhony rocking a fully expertised Isongye and Freddy on his new account, which is pretty remarkable that he's got those both expertised already. Must be buying a tremendous amount of gold keys to pull that off. That combo does work. That combo does serious work. We swap in our Isongye with El Cid to be the captains, but that is just not going to be enough to deal with what they're doing there. We go to swap out our armies. It's too late. They've already won. That Freddy Isongye combo was pretty strong. Not going to lie. We've got a rally going to take back our altar, so we're struggling to hold our own altars here, and struggling to get the Ark, which is a big problem. Again, feeling a little bit low on troops all around. And of course, healing speed-ups. I talked with Dragothien afterwards, and they used less healing speed-ups than we did. So there you go. I don't know how KVK has been for their kingdom, if they would claim that it would be more savage than going up against Kingdom 52 and Kingdom 50. But the impact of that is real. Here you see more marches than I think we have all over the map from blue, concentrated in one place. I don't know, man. We need marches. I hate to keep saying it. So strategically, though, what did blue do well? What did Art of Conquest do well? They launched a lot of offensive rallies. They seemed to go really well. They gathered around the Ark with the right number of troops at the right time, which we were unable to do, either because, I mean, like, I don't know, why would the folks in my alliance not accomplish that? Either because they don't know how to follow instructions, or like we just don't have the troops, and I think that's just not having troops, because we've got some pretty sweet people. So I've launched a cavalry rally here, and this was where one of my huge mistakes happened. This is a cavalry rally, and I didn't think that I would be sending this army somewhere important afterwards. So the army has cavalry, but it also has a small amount of infantry. And this is the FML. This is the moment that really is silly, because we send our army now to cut off their flag carrier, okay? We send our army to cut off their flag carrier without realizing that our march has infantry in it, so we're not getting the benefit of any of the cavalry march speed talents. What a catastrophe. What a catastrophe. And of course, like, it's too late. It's too late to go back to town and to stop this arc, and we keep looking, going like, why aren't we there yet? Why aren't we there yet? Why are we going so slow? And this is about the moment when we realize that we've got effing infantry in the march, because we used it for a rally and we tried to just fill the rally. And that's why we're going so slow. Pretty tragic. Pretty tragic. We're just not going to make it in time. Which, like, so much facepalm. We're close. We're so close to stopping this carrier. If we did not have infantry in this march, we would have probably got there. Or we would have gone into the structure, which is a thing we do now, because I'm like, how many troops you got in there, really? Boom, none. Gosh darn it. We could have taken that structure, put 500,000 troops in there, all if my march was effing faster. There was a way out of this mess, and it had to do with having more troops. So I'm going to train a bunch of T4s, and I'm going to use healing speed-ups more liberally in Ark, even though we really do a lot of healing for KVK. Here we crashed. At this point, by the way, in my estimation, the match is already decided. It's already over. 10,000 point difference is insurmountable unless you've got all the structures. We are doing pretty good with the structures, but not good enough. We've got armies that are sort of stuck in the open field that are not amazing. They're separated from each other. Yeah, it's not a good situation. It is not a good situation. Yeah. So from this Ark of Osiris, what did I take away? What did I take away? So a couple things. The first is probably that we should do more offensive rallies. Sometimes it's better to ask questions than to have answers, and you get more points on offense anyways. So I probably would do more offensive rallies, and I would also retain in my city the pairing that I intend to use for those rallies. A part of the problem is that I really want to use Barca with some other commander like Yi Seong-Ye, but I want my Yi Seong-Ye to be out on the field. And I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to start using Barca with Yi Seong-Ye, or Yi Seong-Ye with El Cid. That's probably another really good combo, and try to call for full archers. And just have that available for rallies all the time. That way, I don't run into this problem. I don't run into this problem of wanting to launch a rally, but not having the commanders that I want to do it with. Yeah, that was definitely an issue. Here we're launching another rally. Just trying to get some points at this point. We're going to hit the Desert Altar. With 10 minutes remaining, there's no possible comeback, especially given the amount of structures they have. And we're just going to try to find some combat at this point. Let's go find something to hit to score a few points toward the end of the match here. What else would we do differently? So we're going to retain rally captains. We're probably going to use El Cid and with Yi Seong-Ye full archers for more rallies, especially because our El Cid is now 5-5-5-2, which is a pretty good place to be. We see here Dragothien's got a rally going. I wonder if we're going to be able to reinforce it. Here we've got a rally going. And at this point, we launch a rally on Rhony's city because, yeah, who doesn't want to rally Rhony? Like, come on. Come on. This Shrine of War is not going great. I think I try to make my way over. I think I'm trying to make my way over there. I don't know. Hard to tell. 8 minutes left. They actually end up taking our obelisk because we don't have enough marches to be in all the places we need to be. So folks abandon the obelisk to go do other stuff. We are captaining this structure. I don't think it's actually relevant, though. We've got a rally going over here, which hopefully will be successful. Hopefully it'll be successful. Yeah, it's looking good. That's looking good. And, of course, Javanismo, being a madman, goes in to swarm against Isung Ye. Oh, my gosh. Isung Ye with some other commander, probably El Cid. Maybe it's Freddy in our obelisk. They get a lot of free AoE value. Here, we end up losing that Shrine of War. We take some structures on the left-hand side of the map, but they don't really matter for anything at this point. And, yeah, I don't know. I think we're trying to fill a rally with some remaining troops. Maybe we're just looking to see what commanders we have available. There we go. Fill the rally with something, Chisgule. Sure, Lohar secondary. In a perfect world, you'd use a commander that elevates the number of troops you can bring, although we're getting mighty low on troops even at this point. Mighty low on troops. There's our rally against Rhony. I think we scout Rhony. I don't know how many freaking troops he has, but he's got like just a stupid amount of T4. A truly stupid amount of T4. Which, like, I mean, seems to work. Look how much this rally does not do well. It does not do well. Here we're running low on infantry. We're running low on everything. We're just filling the darn structure with whatever we got to try to defend, I guess, against a rally. Yeah. Ark of Osiris, man. Ark of Osiris. What else would we do differently? I mean, I could assign more people to go middle, but the problem was not the number of people assigned to go middle. Like 12 people had that task. We just don't have, like, if all 12 people only have 2 marches of troops, right? And they have even 10 people or 8 people, but each of them brings 5 marches or 4 marches, right? Like, you see the problem. You see the problem. Here we go, sending out some more T5s, making our way over to just hit something, anything for a little bit of points. We've got another army, sure, what the heck. Let's just hit something, anything for a little bit of points. We had a rally that was gonna launch, and we take that army, and we figure, what the heck, let's just hit something, anything to get a little bit of points. If we had configured these armies from the base at the same time, we probably would have arranged them a little bit differently to have one that's got infantry and one that's got archers and one that's got cavalry, but, you know, whatever. Here the other player realizes, oh yeah, there's only 40 seconds left, I guess we should just fight. And so that's what's happening. A little bit of last minute fighting, which, like, yeah, it's good for everybody. Get a few points here. Get a few points. Bada boom. So, congratulations to AoC on your victory. Hopefully your KVK is going better than ours. We're in Zone 1. High from Zone 1. And you can see here on the score that, capturing the Ark was kind of a problem, and that was the difference in points. In fact, if we had captured all those Arks, we'd have won. We didn't, though. I guess we got second on kills, third on kill score. And there you have it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.